Hi everybody, welcome to Bramble Ramble. The first thing I can say is that terrible thing of procrastination. I had all these grand ideas about, I wasn't too old and I could do this and I could really start this amazing, just enough of a channel where people would be involved or want to watch. And so I made one and it was okay. And I thought, okay, this is good. I made the second one and got in such a mess over the getting it up there, getting it on. It just seemed to drive myself insane. And then I sat back and I did the one thing I said I wouldn't do. I just procrastinated. Every day I put it off. Every single day I would find a reason thinking, why? Why would anybody watch it? I think maybe my biggest challenge, was the fact that I knew I wanted to talk about all different things that had affected me through my life. But my thoughts were all over the place and I couldn't find. I felt like I had to have a channel that each week or each time I spoke led from one thing to the other to the other. And then I realised that, I am sure so many people of my age, middle-aged, over 50, there's so much. Your brain, my brain, seems to be continually spinning around through the weirdest, strangest thoughts, memories, to-do list, worries, all these things. And so in the end, all it means was you worry, you spend your day doing all these other things, you're trying to think about something else, you're doing those normal household things that you do. You go to sleep at night, you're exhausted, you cannot sleep because you worry. You up in the night thinking tomorrow I'm going to do so and so, the next day you're so tired. And this is just this endless loop. And I hear so many people talking about this, hitting this menopause age, this age where, your roles change, and through all these other illness worries, anything like this, you spend your life seemingly busy and constant, and yet sometimes it feels like you're just going nowhere, and then you're procrastinating. And this channel that I had these great ideas that I felt that would be really good for me, cathartic even, was to talk about things, because I know I'm not alone with these worries, with these thoughts, with these ideas. I know that there are so many people just like me out there with exactly the same thoughts, or, things flying through their head. And probably, like me, you get to bed at night, you're exhausted, and then, midnight you wake up, you're wide awake. And then it's just an endless cycle. And this self-doubt that you just battle with yourself. You know you've got to this age and you're really capable. You've done a lot. You've achieved a lot. You know your place in the world, but you then begin to doubt it because you don't have the confidence of your youth. You feel a little lost. You may be thinking about, where are you going to be 10 years from now? And that's scary. And for those of you that have watched the other videos, you'll know that my husband, Rich, he was diagnosed with cancer early 2023, Hodgkin's lymphoma. And we ended up about, all in all, maybe 8-9 months in Minnesota at the Mayo Clinic. Thankfully, great insurance and therefore fabulous care. We were so lucky in so many ways. We'd actually left Texas to go there because they couldn't treat him in Texas, and we were just had fantastic insurance and a wonderful employer. So we're forever grateful for these things. But our lives, like so many others, are completely turned upside down. And then, your path that you think you're on completely and utterly just falls away in front of you, and you're left thinking, I don't know, where do I go now? And I think, what I found was this, wanted to start this YouTube channel, like so many others. I am convinced there are so many of you out there like me, just like me, with many worthwhile things or many experiences you've had. And there are so many, you are absolutely just filled to the brim. And so instead of, being sensible or plotting this course of action and being really disciplined, you just kind of ricochet off, and then you just get nowhere. And so all these great thoughts and this, I'm going to do this, just went crazy. So it was Rich today that said, come on, stop this procrastination, stop the self-doubt, at least try. And I spent an hour putting this off, thinking, well, what do I do? And then I thought, that's actually a video in itself, is this fact that I had all these great ideas, or this, energy to go into something, and my own self-doubt, my own brain ping-ponging everywhere just led to absolutely nothing and accomplishing nothing. And all these great ideas, and then from that you think, oh, just messed it up. What a waste. I had all these great ideas, didn't do it. Waste. And then you beat yourself up. And then it's just a vicious cycle. And so you think about it again, you put it off again. And so I thought, well, yeah, maybe that is its own video in itself, how we're so quick to worry ourselves out of doing something, or to stop ourselves, to be our own worst enemy, by, instead of thinking I can do this or I have something, we just end up saying, no, you can't, or you're not good enough. And all those things that you thought you succeeded in, you begin to talk yourself out of. And so I thought maybe procrastination is just simply fear. That all I'm really thinking is I'm just fearful. Because can I do it? Why? Who would get anything out of this? Except from in the back of my head, through another channel we have, Bramble Cottage Renovation. And it's basically been about us renovating our cottage. Not only that, but actually renovating a cottage just after Richard had finished his final round of chemo. And it was 6 months of really tough chemo. So there was so much more of a story to tell there. And yet slowly and steadily we built up such a wonderful followers, we call them Bramblers, who have enriched our lives so thoroughly, have made such a difference to us, that we almost feel we are our own support crew behind us. And this has changed our life. And all those self-doubts, all those worries we've had, when we actually talk to people on YouTube, people that we haven't met, but people that have become integrated in our lives, and it has been wonderful. And so this procrastination is just stopping me from maybe expanding that to share it. There are so many people like me that have ended up lonely, that because of the way our lives have gone, you've ended up somewhere, or your kids have left home. For us, our kids left home, we moved away, Rich got cancer, we've moved somewhere else. And actually, the reality is, I actually have no friends here. And so I think there's loneliness, and then this strength or this courage to actually reach out and say, to put my heart on the line, to talk to people and to talk about some of the things that I went through. I feel it's the right thing to do, because if I can help, or if somebody else can relate to it and think, oh yeah, I understand that, and then you get a community together, then that must be the most incredible thing. That hopefully it's not a one-way street. Hopefully it's not just me venting or me discussing, telling you about some of these worries, some of the things we didn't expect with the cancer or the recovery. That perhaps there are other things and people can say, I'm not on my own. There's somebody else like me, and then to reach out, and then it could just go tenfold. And so this procrastination, it's just stopping. It's just this wall of fear or anxiety, but all it's doing is stopping you. And if it goes out there and you make your videos and you don't get anything for a while, does it matter? Did it help you while you were talking it through? Did it release some of that burden to do that? To at least say, I may not get subscribers from this, I may not get anybody to watch this video, but I felt better for doing it. And even if not yet, even later on, there might be that one that just suddenly hits, or somebody thinks, oh yeah, that's a really interesting one, and they can relate to it, and then they'll go back to your other ones, and then you'll see. So I thought, no, I'm not ready to give up yet. I like to think through all this last year, a couple of years we've been through, and I can't say anything other than it's been absolute hell. I then would quickly follow it by saying, I realise how lucky we are, and I still have Rich, and I will count every day. I will never ever take it for granted. I know I am so lucky, so lucky. I also know there were things we didn't expect, and things in our life that have been things that we really thought we had a handle on, or we really realised, and actually nothing is quite as it seemed, or it didn't turn out the way you were hoping for, or your emotions. There's so much. And so I thought, I'll just do these really different Bramble videos for whatever is relevant for the time. Because if it's close to my heart on that day, or it's an anxiety that I've had, or a worry, or just this hey, you might think you know this, but this will happen, or this could happen, and so it's okay. And I think that's the thing. There's been so much with many things in our life that we expect it to go one way and it doesn't, and it goes a completely opposite way. And then you're kind of, oh wow, is that meant to happen? Is that okay? And just because it's different doesn't mean that it's worse, and it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just different. I have always said to my kids to have a go at something. Give it a go. Move somewhere. Give something, try something. If that's what you want to do, try it. Because it doesn't mean, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't mean you failed. It meant you gave it a go and it wasn't for you. And you're better to have said, I tried it and no, not for me, rather than to always sit and think, I wonder. So I've been saying that to my kids their whole life. Be brave, go out there, have a go. If it doesn't work, doesn't matter. And yet I have been the biggest procrastinator and the biggest coward to think, oh no, I can't do this, or no, I can't. And yet when I look at some of the things that I have achieved, I think, no, I should be proud of that. And even though it means nothing to anybody else, there's nothing really tangible, when I look at how I handled the past year, how, we went through this, me and my husband, we were thousands of miles from anybody, and we did it. And I know that I did everything to the best of my ability. I looked after him the best I could. I was strong as anything. I took away any other worries so that all he had to do was to concentrate on fighting this cancer. Now, I know I don't deserve it. I know that's nothing. However, before you do something like that, you have no idea what you're capable of. And I realised I was capable of so much more. And actually, I could be really strong. And as long as I was doing something that I could help him or help somebody, that's a good thing. So procrastination is just terrible. And so I'm going to stop. And I'm going to make sure I put out videos. And I think, if you're looking or you're thinking about these YouTube videos and you're talking yourself out of it, you really have nothing to lose. You have nothing. And if it makes your heart feel a little lighter, or you feel that somebody might have seen it and thought, oh yeah, that's it today, then give it a go. Try it. And there are so many people willing others on and really wanting the best, or really wanting to find that community online where you can understand each other, that you think, I'm not alone. Somebody may be millions of miles away from me, but they have the same problems, or these little things in life that can be so huge when you're battling on your own. And when you actually talk to people, you think, it's manageable. I can do that. So I'm going to carry on with my Bramble videos. I'm going to get myself motivated. And at the moment, they probably will be talking about maybe the cancer journey a little bit more. Because I feel that there's some things that happen that we certainly didn't expect, that maybe people kind of had thoughts or understandings that things may go a different way. It may help them. But my topics will be very varied. I've had a life where we've travelled, we've lived in different countries, we've got 3 kids that are now all left home, and I was a mum, very much an old-fashioned mum at home, whose suddenly kids didn't just leave home, they left the country. So all those different things that, you don't expect when you've got these little babies in your arms. You think you're all going to be a family close by together. Nothing ever turns out quite that way. So I'm going to carry on with my Bramble Ramble. I'm going to hopefully be positive and add some value. And I'm going to say that just because I'm not a young glam thing and I'm over 50, hopefully I've got life lessons that people can relate to, and that somehow we can build a community where people can help each other and to be able to maybe have a better understanding or a better view on situations. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this is fine, because I've just been sitting in a living room with this on my lap, so I may have been shaking along like crazy. But that's me. Anybody that sees us on Bramble Renovation will know that I will go off on many different tangents. There's no stopping me. But anyway, thank you for watching if you do. And I am going to commit to stop procrastinating and get on and make these YouTube videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.